Aboriginal children in the early 1800s to late 1900s were unwillingly put into residential schools. The children were stripped away from their families and expected to learn an entirely new religion and language. They were prohibited from speaking their mother tongue. The motive of the priests who taught at these schools was to promote what they thought mattered. They spread the word of Jesus Christ, the only valid God, to them. 60% of residential schools were run by Catholic churches. The First Nations and/or Aboriginal kids were assimilated into their customs. If the children did not oblige, they would receive violent punishments involving mental and physical abuse. I saw kids die of tuberculosis, influenza, pneumonia, and broken hearts. There were sounds of slaps, the whack of fists on flesh, the cries of distress, the sound of skin sliding against skin, and the low adult growls. Kids were routinely strapped. My days were all spent in labor. The schools focused heavily on strict rules. Abuse ranged from rape, as sexual abuse, disease due to working in repulsive conditions, humiliation as mental abuse by yelling or degrading, and so much more. They did not believe in the Aboriginals' culture at all. Residential schools brought children to, quote, save you from your heathen ways. The children felt as though they struggled for air, for life, for freedom. An example of a survivor is Saul Indian Horse. He underwent the struggles of mental and physical harm due to his time in a residential school as well. He faced issues such as substance abuse and anger issues, but overcame them. The schools do not serve as a memorable asset to our history, so through the much improved schooling system in our current society, children should be taught of the happenings and past of these horrific schools. Knowledge of this topic will promote the truth and prevent a mistake like residential schools from ever happening again. In fact, 1 out of every 25 children died in these schools, which is significantly higher than the ratio of men who died in World War II, with a 1 out of 26 ratio. Surprising, right? Teaching adults in the future of our society, children, will help our generations further advocate to do the right thing and honor the Aboriginal survivors and people's further exploitation in these schools. Small acts, when multiplied by millions of people, can transform the world, was once said by Howard Zinn. So educating ourselves and our children in school can now lead to a more positive future, correcting and rebuilding our country's wrongful past. Thank you.